Welcome everyone to the Water Cooler MPL's weekly video current events podcast. I always try and get that right, but I always mess it up.
Say it three times quickly.
Backwards. Podcast video. I don't know. You already lost me. I'm back, everyone. I'm glad to be back. I know I missed like two of these or just one of these, but I'm Rudy. I work here at the McAllen Public Library main branch as a reference assistant. And who do I have with me here? Same old. You just saw her yesterday. She was just on Strange Readings yesterday.
Yeah.
The video superstar, our live stream superstar, Alison. How have you been, Alison, since I last saw you, which was like 5 minutes ago?
It's been tough, carrying the weight of best hostess ever here at the library. But, I do what I can with as much humility as possible.
Okay. So, everyone, welcome. Today is September 23rd. It's the end of summer, right? We're right in the starting line of fall. And this is
pumpkin time.
Spooky season, as they say. It's pumpkin time. Get your spicy latte, Starbucks stuff, pumpkin spice stuff. It's episode 25. Every time I hear what episode it is, it's just like, wow, we've been doing this for 25 weeks, which is, I don't know, quick math.
We've come a long way.
More than 4 months. Yeah, we've come a long way. Our humble beginnings. And now we have this whole beautiful setup. We have the lights. We have a green screen, which we'll use next time. We have StreamYard. We're StreamYard pros, I like to think. We even have like a little template that we've put up on the... This is stuff I noticed. I hope everyone else notices how much effort we've been putting into this. But thank you, everyone who's joining us. Sorry, that's my phone.
Social dilemma, Rudy. Social dilemma.
I know. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And of course, I had to see what the notification was. But we'll get into that later. Allison, don't spoil it for the people. So first things first, we always get into... I've already been rambling for 3 minutes. But our celebrity birthdays. And we talked about this at the beginning of September. You and I are both September babies. Mm-hmm. I just had a birthday a couple weeks ago. September is the best month for birthdays. Ever. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yes, you are right. Mine is
let us know let us know in the comments what other month you think is the best for birthdays, and we'll tell you how wrong you are. But come on. We went over these a couple weeks ago. We had I can't even remember. Oh, we had Adam Sandler was one. Leo Tolstoy, the famous Russian writer, was one. And look at today. We have right off the bat, we have who?
John Coltrane.
Mr. John Coltrane, jazz saxophonist and composer, was born on this day in 1926 in Hamlet, North Carolina. I just listened to John Coltrane last night. Really smooth saxophonist, really good, smooth jazz. Mm-hmm. Who's your favorite jazz artist?
I like the soundtrack from Cowboy Bebop. I mean, So I guess technically, what's her name? The composer, Yoko Kanno? Uh-huh. She's good at that stuff. So
there you go. Everyone check out Yoko. What was the name?
Wait, did I get the name right? Oh my God.
We'll get it later. Mods, go ahead and put the links in the chat.
Cowboy Bebop composer. Oh my God, all the anime fans are going to kill me now.
Hey Siri. So we have Nicole, bless her heart. Nicole saying June is the best month for birthdays. That's incorrect.
No.
Well, it's September. I'll go ahead and prove it again. The late, great Ray Charles, American singer and pianist who pioneered soul music, was born in Albany, Georgia on this day in 1930. I know they did that movie on him, and they had Jamie Foxx playing him, which I think he was really good in. Mm-hmm. But the late, great Ray Charles, Georgia on My Mind, of course, is one of his famous tunes. The next one, I'm not a huge fan of. Never really got into Bruce Springsteen, but the boss himself, right, Mr. Bruce Springsteen, American singer, songwriter, rock musician, was born on this day in Long Branch, New Jersey, 1949.
He's got to be like 71 now, which, you know, my parents are going to hate me for saying because that reminds them how old they are. Which is why I said
Bruce Springsteen, the boss. I know that's his nickname. That's all I really know about him. And the last one, again, I'm not really familiar with him. Hassan
Minaj? He's awesome.
Minaj, yeah. He's awesome. I know he had a show on Netflix, right? Patriarch?
Yeah, it was really good. His stand-up specials are also really hilarious. Like, he's one of those, you know, comedians these days. It's hard for him, and John Mulaney are some of my favorite current comedians right now. And he's 35 years old, so go him.
Up and coming comedian from Davis, California. Oh, I misspoke California, of course. Cali. There you go. So those are our celebrity birthdays. I mean, come on, you can't really beat John Coltrane, Ray Charles, Bruce Springsteen. I couldn't really find any more big celebrities. I mean, come on. September is the best month for creatives.
I do want to say, though, my birthday is this Friday, September 25th, and I share the birthday with Will Smith and Christopher Reeves, Superman. So
wow.
I like to brag about that. I even put that in my resume and everything. So.
Will Smith, though, he's been in the news recently, though. For stuff we can't really get into.
Oh.
But yeah, I love Will Smith. He's one of my favorite all-time actors. I love Fresh Prince, which you could probably tell because we've brought up Fresh Prince so many times up. And then today, there was only 2 national days today. And of course, I closed my Google Doc, but I have it here. It's National Dogs in Politics Day. They celebrate the first dog of the U.S. who holds an important place in the hearts of all Americans. Who's your favorite presidential dog?
I do love the Obama's dog. Was it like a poodle mix or something? Very adorable.
Like a terrier poodle kind of thing?
Yeah, it had very curly fur. I think it was. I always think dogs with curly fur is very cute. So
I know about dog breeds for some reason, but I'm not a big dog person or a cat person. I know more about dog breeds than I do cat breeds, but I have neither.
Yeah, I think there's less emphasis on cat breeds unless you're in a cat show or whatever.
Yeah. All I know is there's orange ones, there's black ones, there's gray ones, that's about it. There's hairless ones.
Those are adorable, actually. They act like dogs. They're very hyper and very like playful, and you can put little sweaters on them. They're so cute.
We'll move on. The next national observance today, this one was super random. Redhead Appreciation Day reminds us of the beauty and uniqueness of red-haired people. I don't know where I got these descriptions. This was, I think, from some random calendar website.
My grandpa was a redhead. My mom kind of hoped that when she married into my dad's family that she'd have a redheaded kid, and then she just ended up we all just ended up with black hair. So she's like, let us know in the comments if you're a redhead or if you know any redheads. I think red hair is awesome.
Grace might get a redhead. She might get one.
Oh, like is she gonna diet or is she gonna kidnap a redhead? I might get one sound has so many meanings. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what she means. But we'll move on. Maybe she'll explain later. Okay. So since fall, we're right in the midst of fall. We're in the early days of fall, and you could actually even feel it, right? Like when you're coming into work, it's not like 100 degrees outside. It's like 90 with a little crisp, a little crisp air.
A little
crisp air. Yeah, a little crispiness in the air. So, okay, Grace she's going to get a bald cat.
Oh, yes, Grace. And let me be the first one to pet it and cuddle with it. Okay. Maybe Chewbacca. For irony.
So yes, it's fall. There's crisp in the air, which means what's the next holiday coming up?
Halloween. This
Halloween.
is Halloween.
I know you're a big Halloween head, right?
Yeah, I usually sing "This is Halloween" like around August. This is Halloween. This is
We'll talk about whether what is that Nightmare Before Christmas is a Halloween or a Christmas movie later on.
All right, we'll get into that.
But this is what I think. This is the most 2020 costume out. Speak to the manager on Halloween 2020 with this terrifying Karen mask. And here she is, or here it is. So first things first, Allison, what are your feelings on this?
Well, that's going to get burnt into my corneas for the rest of my life. So thank you, Rudy.
At least for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
But it's too much. No one's going to actually, I don't think anyone is actually going to get this, right? I mean, this is too much.
You'd be surprised what people would dress up for on Halloween, especially on TikTok.
True. Yeah, there's so much like better stuff to dress up at. I'm trying to get rid of this ad. But like if you're gonna do this, you might as well just get the wig, right? You don't have to spend the whole thing for the mask.
Like $125 it cost, right? Like a lot of money.
I didn't even read into it that much. But yeah, Karen mask complete with the telltale choppy haircut and angered expression. Okay, so it's on Etsy. So you know when stuff's on Etsy, that means people are making it like by themselves, right? Or like independently.
Yeah.
So you know the price is probably gonna be pretty over the top. So go ahead.
Well, to be fair, they're making it from scratch, which is expensive. So pay your artist properly, people. Anyway.
But there's our Karen mask. God, I hope I don't see any of these. I mean, it's already so rough enough, like out here on Halloween. Like the kids are already dressed up as like video game characters, or like anything's fine, but like just don't do the Karen thing. That's a whole. Come on, leave Karen in the past, you know.
Yeah, were there any controversies around this mask?
I know people have been suggesting the whole Karen thing, and I don't want to get too much into this, but like Karen is like a term, like a slur or something. People are trying to make it into this whole thing.
I'm not going to comment. I'm not going to comment.
But people are trying to make the Karen thing. They're trying to blow it up way too much, and it's a whole thing. Let people listen to me. Leave the Karen thing in early 2020. I know we're still in 2020, but just leave it in the past.
Right.
We don't need it. Yeah, we don't need it.
What does concern me though too, this is going to be my last thought on it, is there's been a lot of discussion about how people treat workers in food and retail, and I feel like making a joke out of it, especially since there's been a lot of harassment and assault against workers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we should have this conversation how we can stop that and stop.
That's true.
But that's my last mic drop. That's my last thing.
So this next one, Grace brought this, I think, to our attention yesterday. Tom Cruise, let me get to it, is officially going to space. I think the one actor you actually think would do this, top of the list has to be Tom Cruise, right? I mean, he's the one.
To be fair, yeah.
He's the first name that you think of, like, oh, who would actually go to space and film in space? That sounds like something Tom Cruise would do. So yeah, this makes total sense.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to happen in 2021, October.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be him, and of course SpaceX has something to do with it. And I think it's him, the director, and two others on the space shuttle.
How much money is this going to cost, though?
millions and millions of dollars, I'm sure. I mean, that's a tourist mission. It's flying the Axiom Space tourist mission with the director and Tom Cruise. One seat still to be filled, and they're going to launch a year from now.
Wow, we're one step closer to the Jetsons.
I'm assuming it's going to be some sort of action movie or a drama movie, or maybe it's going to be another Mission Impossible in space, which is exactly what we need. We need just more and more, Mission Impossible movies. We need more Fast and Furious movies and all these things,
Yeah.
But what else did I have on that? It's like the most 2020 thing also.
I'm sure some people are enthusiastic about this, so this is why I have to get my needle and pop the balloon of excitement. But I'm like, couldn't we have used this money for something else?
Donate it to a cause. No, well, I'm not gonna tell him what to do with his money, but if he wants to go and make a movie in space, is it gonna? I mean, he's probably assuming, or they're probably assuming they're gonna make their mony back. Maybe if the movie theaters go back to normal. Big blockbuster thing.
I have so many thoughts on this. So many thoughts. And we
won't get into some.
Well, my first thought is keep it. Keep it.
Not take it. You gonna leave it?
Yeah, just keep it. You leave it. Don't. I'm sure a lot of people.
Yeah, he goes out of the public eye. Like, we don't see him for so many years, and now it's like, boom, I'm back. I'm going to space.
And here's a controversial opinion. I prefer Tom Cruise in romantic comedies compared to action movies. I think I missed those type of movies he was in. So,
what was the last romantic movie he was in?
Oh my God, it must have been a long time ago. There's the one he was with Renee Zellweger. He was really good with that one.
Vanilla Sky one?
No, that one was with Penelope Cruz and Cameron Diaz. I like that one. It was a very weird movie, but I kind of liked it because it was weird. The other one, okay, moving on.
Sorry. Yeah, no more Tom Cruise talk. Okay, we're on the last little topic for today, and this is a big topic because this has been in the news a lot, right? A lot of people, a bunch of my buddies have been talking about this documentary, and it's the Netflix The Social Dilemma documentary. And let me pull up the screen share here. So I know we both decided we would watch it before doing today's episode so we can kind of chat about it. And this says, Netflix documentary The Social Dilemma prompts social media users to rethink Facebook, Instagram, and others. Mm-hmm. So I know we're being broadcast now on Facebook, so
I know
that's part of it. But okay, Alison, I'm gonna let you speak first. What are your overall takeaway from the Social Dilemma? And then I'll give mine.
I think the documentary was really good. I wish they didn't do those where they had a fictional family playing out the examples, because I feel like that's gonna age pretty badly in a couple of years.
Yeah.
And make it look like a very after-school special. But when they just focus on the experts or the people that were behind social media and like how the technology works, that was very informative and very fascinating and very scary. Very scary. And I felt so guilty the next morning when I got a ping on my cell phone. I'm like, oh, let me see what's on here. And I was like, no.
Yes, you're feeding into it.
Yeah. I'm
overall score out of 10. What do you give it? What do you give The Social Dilemma out of 10?
I think I want to give it an 8.9 out of 10.
Yeah, that's about what I would say. Yeah, I'd give it like an 8.5 to 9. I thought it was really well made. The experts definitely were really insightful. They spoke to a bunch of Google people and a couple of doctors in the field, and like I like the guy with the dreadlocks who was like,
oh my God, yeah.
He's like, I'm purposely off of Facebook for this and that, and but they all made really good points, and like in in terms of the fictional part of it, that's part of what kind of threw me off also. I didn't really see that coming. Like at the start, I was like, wait, why are they acting? I thought this was a documentary. But I guess I could also kind of see why they would do that. Because it shows people how it affects like an actual family. Yeah, the weird random acting was weird. Yeah.
Although I do want to say maybe they should have had, families that had, those issues happening to them. Like,
yeah, like maybe a family whose child did go through this kind of bullying. Yeah, like the radicaling kind of I can't say it. The radicalization, a family that did go through that, or a family that also had the young preteen daughter thing was also really touching. But yeah, that was probably the most disconcerting part about the preteens and like the suicide rate and the depression and hospitalization rates.
Yeah.
But honestly, the thing that I didn't like the most out of it was like, this is all kind of stuff. It's pretty much stuff that we're already aware of, right?
Maybe, but they didn't really. I feel like it hasn't been probed deeply for a lot of people. Like I understood how bad the algorithm was. I didn't realize it was to the point where like, they could tell how long you're looking at an ad or a post, and they did some like how intentional a lot of things are. Like what really stood to me was when they're saying like, yeah, when Facebook sends you an email saying like, oh, you got tagged in this photo, but they don't show you the photo, you have to go to a website to see it. That's on purpose. They intentionally make it.
Because maybe you'll go to Facebook, maybe you'll click on an ad.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Maybe you'll click on an ad that you weren't really officially, or you weren't really gonna click on at first, and now they got you to go onto the website.
Yeah.
And now, what's Jimmy doing? Oh, what did he buy? Or what's he looking at? And then like you're clicking through this. Now Grace says, I didn't think they were studying psychology and trying to make it addicting on purpose.
Well,
yeah, I think they say that they did all this like, oh, we make the like button so we can spread positivity and love in the world. But in like, that's something you could probably see ahead of time. Like, okay, maybe this is going to be a problem. Maybe people are going to start buying likes, or maybe companies are going to start paying people for likes, or like, that's something you could have seen ahead of time. Because nowadays it's like, the more likes, the more, funds.
I'm going to be very Russian literature on this and be very like, honestly, at the end of the day, their attention, their priority is making money. Like, I'm sorry, but it's true. And look, I like making money as much as the next person, but you have to consider, is making a couple of bucks on stuff like this. And now we have filters that girls use to lighten their skin, to make their waist look smaller, and it's causing all sorts of body dysmorphia on young girls. So
is adding like likes and all these filters and like the whole thing about like the beauty, I forget what the term is, but like like you want to be so beautiful but it's not attainable, and it's like what is that term? I don't know the term, but stuff like that like these preteens, these poor Gen Xers or the Gen Zers, the Zoomers or Xers that are like
the Generation Z. We're Generation Y.
The poor Gen Zers, poor Zoomers out here, the first generation that had social media in middle school, and they're kind of it's messed up for them because they have to go through middle school with like a Facebook, and you need a Snapchat, and you need an Instagram, and you need a this and that, and you need a TikTok and this and that. So that's why when I do have a child, or if I ever have a child, they're not getting a phone until high school.
I think that's fair.
Or not getting a phone until they can afford it. until they're like 17 paying for their own phone.
Oh my God.
They just won't have one. I know I didn't have a phone, and I know this is different for everyone our age, but like I didn't have a phone until I was like 6th or 7th grade.
I was around that age too.
Yeah. And I didn't have, go ahead.
I didn't have internet until I was in high school, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think internet was even on your phones. Yeah, until like high school age, like 2010. I think they said 2009 is when social media was available on phones. And then like I didn't even have social media until high school. Like my junior year of high school is when I got a Facebook. But I had a MySpace before then. But yeah, social media is just a whole thing.
And and then there's the discussion of how misinformation gets spread and like.
Oh, that's a whole different thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's something that I'm super careful when I do strange readings, because I have to now I have to be like, okay, because like there's my case yesterday. There was supposedly this email going around, and supposedly this is the word for word email. But when I try to look for the source on that, it was the email of the victim of his murder case. I couldn't find any reliable sources. So I'm like, okay, this is probably the internet just passing that around, and I can't risk putting that because that's misinformation.
And now it's so easy to publish this kind of information, but it's so hard for people or some people to differentiate it from like a legitimate source, like. And like all these news organization blogs that are like fake news or whatever, all the names sound so like believable, right? It's like USA Freedom News for you.com, or like Freedom News, reliable Freedom News, or reliable USA News. And like any person who doesn't know the difference between a reliable source or like a fake news site, they're going to say it, and they're going to say, oh, reliable internet use. Click.
Yeah, and here's the thing, too. It reminds me of this very unsettling story someone told me. So on Facebook.
Okay. This isn't like rated R or something, right?
No, but.
This is a family show.
No. So it was on Facebook, and apparently, there's this video talking about misinformation. And for as an example, apparently there was this video going around and claiming that Holland was canceling Christmas because of their Muslim population. But then if you dig deeper, it had nothing to do with their Muslim population. It had everything to do with electricity bills. And but some racist source twisted everything around, making it sound, and basically they're saying, watch out for this. Well, my friend watched that video, and on that same day, she saw someone post that actual video going around, and she had to correct that person, like, "Hey, that's not real."
Jeez.
And it was shared 3 or 5 times already. So
yeah, and by the time someone responsible, like your friend or like someone, I don't want to say calls out, but like until someone actually sees it and tries to correct it or tries to say something about it. It's been shared like thousands and thousands of times, a million times. It's like, is it even worth correcting this one person? It's like, oh, a million people have already seen it, so it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
That's what we face now, and on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and all these sites, the fake news.
Yeah, I've had to come up with my own rules about this stuff. Like one rule I've made myself do is before I share anything, I have to read it. If I don't read it, don't share it. Don't just I don't look at the headline and go, oh, I gotta share this. I have to read the whole thing before I do anything.
I think that's if the mods can put a link to like how to differentiate fake news and all that kind of thing in the comments, that'd be helpful so people can read through it. But yes, I think 80% of people that post like a headline or like some news article that they are like so wild about, I think 80% of the time they just read the headline and just go off the headline. Maybe the headline and like the little picture that it has there, and they just share it. It's like you didn't even read it.
Yeah. And actually I've read somewhere too, like how that's how we're taking in so much information that we really need to practice having our brain just read at a slower pace, because we're just like grab instead of like just absorbing all the information like fully. You're just like, just binging on it, basically, for lack of a better phrase.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're like the binge generation now. Like, we binge everything. We binge all our shows, all our music, all our movies, all our news now. All the news we get is just like, oh, what's next in the news? The news cycle now is like, it's like a day, and it's like something new. Thank you, moderators, for the link there. Here's a link for the How to Spot Fake News, factcheck.org, so that people can look through that.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. I thought it was a really interesting documentary. I'm glad that so many people mentioned it and recommended it, and it's really insightful, and I recommend it highly.
It's very interesting, and it gets you talking about honestly, I think this is why people need to take humanities and STEM courses together, because without the other, we are in a huge mess, which is kind of what we are in right now. So
yeah, no, I don't want to bring it up, but yes, it's 2020. Some elections are coming up. Everyone, just do your research before you go out and vote. Read carefully. Check on factcheck.org on how to spot fake news.
Or Snopes.
I was going to bring up Snopes. Snopes also is the one that like tells you if it's fact or fiction, or truth or lie, or how many Pinocchios and this and that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all the topics we have for today. The social dilemma was really interesting, so I recommend it.
It's on Netflix.
What else is Netflix? And I'm sure you can find it somewhere else for free, but I don't know how. So what's new at MPL, Allison? What do we have coming up at MPL?
Oh, we're coming up with a couple of things. On our Halloween, we're going to have our book festival. It's going to be, I believe, virtual. It's going to be spectacular.
I think so. So we're getting more information on this as the time gets nearer or closer. Nearer is not a, but it's 3 days this year, right? It's like virtual 3 days.
Yeah, it falls on Halloween. Pardon me.
Thursday, October 29 to November the 1st. Or is that 4 days?
Oh.
But see how ready and we are on this. 7th annual South Texas Book Festival, going entirely virtual, and we'll be streaming all of the events on social media pages. So that's 36 days from now. Some of these links aren't really full right now, so I won't click through them. But I know there's going to be like a poetry reading, like poetry night for adults, a drive-through movie for the kids on the last day, I think. But more and more information will be released, and make sure you check out the McAllen Public Library Facebook page and the South Texas Book Festival page, which is on our website.
What's the URL for that? Or is it?
That is, southtexasbookfestival.com.
Okay.
southtexasbookfestival.com. Everyone, throughout the next couple of days, I mean, it's already the last week of September. I can't believe that.
I know.
Like the last week and a half of September. So next month is already, it's already October, and that's going to be the month of the book festival. And I know beginning in October, there's going to be a lot more stuff rolling out, a lot more information. Let me see what else we have. MPL Adults on Facebook also. Let's see if I can get on Facebook. Yes, of course.
It heard us talking about it. The algorithm.
I'm sorry, Facebook. Please forgive me. I will go in like 10 things now to repent. I know we're going to be having a bunch of new videos coming out on our MPL Adults website. You're still doing your strange readings, right?
Yes, and I'm going to be involving faculty from the Criminal Justice Department of UTRGV. It's going to be 2 cases. Our first case I can talk about, since it's approaching, is the Oklahoma Girl Scout murders. So,
hold on, let me get my Google working, or my Facebook working.
Yeah. Which,
sorry, fill in some time.
So, and funny enough, when I was researching this, it turns out that there were a lot of crimes that happen in Girl Scout camps, which is probably why they're not much of a thing anymore. But
yeah, I know
it's
the
very
Boy
weird.
Scouts went like they just disappeared, right? The Boy Scouts of America is just like defunct now.
Is it now? Wow,
I think it went away.
I
Not that I'm laughing about it. It's just
no, it's
something that happened.
I mean, the Girl Scouts are still active. I mean, after all, we demand cookies, right? So, but when I was a brownie, and honestly, I don't think when I was I didn't think we did camping, which was what I wanted to do when we joined.
Yeah, a lot of kids want to go out camping and like experience the outdoors. And I know that's what the Boy Scouts did a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you said when is that next?
It's going to be October 6th.
October 6th. So what we had, I'm just going to go through our Facebook. This is our MPL Adults Facebook page. Upcoming events. Let me just look through this really quick.
Yeah, I'm going to actually put it up this week, but we have other events to do too. I believe. Oh yes, MPL Book Club with Grace is always awesome.
It's always bumping. Yeah, MPL Adults on Facebook. There we are. We have 487 likes. We're 13 away from 500. So if you're watching this and you don't like our Facebook page, I mean, come on, just find us on Facebook.
Please like us. Please like us.
MPL Adults, and then you'll get little pings on your phone when we post stuff, and you'll get that dopamine shot. And it's like, MPL Adults is posting. Oh, awesome! And just like,
would you say no to these two faces on your algorithms?
Seriously, every other day, right? Or it feels like every other day, at least once a week.
Yeah.
But we have a bunch of book talks. We have Psychology of Banning Books coming up on September 28th at 12.
Yeah, I believe
that's going to be a live stream.
Yeah,
with Francisco. We got Esther here doing a button tree, which is another grab and go for our MPL adults. Come by and pick up your grab and go craft kits. Let's see. We have resume basics from Julia. She's got some videos coming out every week also. Let's see what else. There's the button tree. We have categories where you can come in and answer some questions for us, kind of trivia style. Food for thought from Nicole.
Yes.
Where she talks about food. I mean, who else? I mean, who doesn't want to talk about food?
Who hates food? I mean.
I mean, if you hate food, don't follow us or don't like us. But if you love food, give us a like.
Ooh,
and there's your strangers. Yeah.
Yeah. I try to bring out my inner molder. You know, I realize that I'm a molder trying to be a Scully, but I just I'm a molder.
Just embrace your molder. Okay, so I think that's about it. Anything that we missed? We talked about the book festival. Keep an eye on the book festival. MPL adults, go and like us. Get that dopamine fix.
Like us.
Like us, please. And YouTube, just search McAllen Library on YouTube.
Subscribe.
We're almost at 200 subscribers there on YouTube. So go and like us.
Yeah, and don't hesitate. Feel free to comment anytime. We love reading comments. Like, you can even comment stuff you suggest we check out or try to do for our next videos. We like hearing feedback. We live for feedback.
Yeah, even after the live stream, even if you're watching this a year from now, or thank you for watching, by the way. But even if you're watching a month from now, or after 5 p.m. today or tomorrow or whenever, leave us a comment anyway. We'll go back and look through it and block you or delete the comment as needed. But I think that's about it, Allison, right? Are we good?
Yeah, I think we've covered everything in this dilemma of social media.
Yeah, let us know what you think about the social dilemma. If you've seen it, let us know how much you love Facebook, because we all love Facebook and Google and Instagram and Snapchat and everything.
I feel like maybe we need to rewatch Social Dilemma again.
I've always loved Facebook. I've always loved Google and Gmail. I give them all my data. But anyway, I think we better go before we get in trouble or we get hacked or something.
Right.
Okay, I'm saying goodbye.
Bye.
See ya later.
See ya.